Well, good morning. I'm only assuming that we're live right now. It's spinning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How we doing this morning? Okay, the screen up here is completely gone. Not sure where you went, but hey, we're up and running. It's Wednesday morning. It's Wednesday morning. Happy midweek. Good morning, Janae. Good morning, Ward. Y'all come on in. We'll give Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter time to get everybody in the room. Middle of the week, CPI data. I believe it just popped. My screen over here that has all this great information on it doesn't seem to want to populate, but you listen, we're going to move on either way. We're moving on either way. I was getting ready to sing some more stuff to the song, but why? No need. Okay, so first 2 days of the week. How's our week been? How's our week been so far? We made some money. If you made some money in the week, then go ahead and put us some money bags. Put us some money bags. Looks like CPI data might have come in flat. So yesterday's move was monstrous. Yesterday's move was yes. And it just, I know SPX ran some more. Started off in the low 53s, ended up in the low 54s. Okay, I got a mouse somewhere here. Let me find it. There we are. Started in the 5300s. I thought 5400 would provide some good resistance and would maybe be that psychological number that it didn't want to bump over. No. So once it got past 54, it kind of hovered around 54 for a while, but then when it got moving, it got moving. So there's that, okay? So this morning we've got our CPI data here. Janae got a money bag in the chat. She's got her a few dollars. Yes, if you made some money, go ahead and put me a money bag in the chat, all right? If you definitely should have made some, if you were watching SPX yesterday, you should have made some money on SPX. I was watching it, but I was basically watching my credit spread get breached, is where the watch was happening. And I just kind of kept waiting for something else to happen, which didn't happen. So today, core CPI this morning is 0.2%. They thought it would be 0.2. That was the forecast. Month over month, 0.2%, which is where they thought it would be. And CPI year over year, though, 2.9%, it would be 3. So it's still doing, I want to say doing fine. 3% is what they were expecting. It's at 2.9. It's a little, that's red, so it's a little hotter than I think they wanted it to be, but it still looks like we're still doing what we wanted to be doing, right? Crude oil inventories, 10:30 a.m. We're going to have that pop up. So that's going to be 10:30. Crude oil inventory, though it has a yellow folder here, really does provide some median amount of volatility. So watch for that. It's not as a non-existent thing as it looks on here. Just know that it does have a little bit more of an impact than that. All right. CNBC says consumer prices rose 0.2% in July, in line with expectations. Today's big CPI inflation report could mark a change in thinking for the Fed. Pre-market, let me refresh this because it may not be up to date. Reddit's increased reliance on Google traffic has Wall Street anxious to see visitors sign up. Google's live demo of Gemini ramps up pressure on Apple as AI reaches smartphone users. Yeah, because on my iPhone, I have the Open AI as an app. It's operating as an app, but I still, can generate and basically Open AI may turn into the replacement search engine. Because, when I ask Open AI a question, it gives me the answer to the question. I ask Google a question, Google gives me some links to go to. this is two different things, because if I just want the question answered, and if it can come back in a sentence or two, then what's the motivation to continue to go to use the way? So we'll see, right? It's just a thought, right? Pre-market Dow futures are down 0.1%. Basically, they're just going flat. And S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, they all went green. Oil, 10-year bonds, all are green. Stock futures are little change as July report is as expected. All righty. Consumer prices rose. UBS CEO says it's too early to talk about U.S. recession, but a slowdown is possible. Treasury yields are slightly higher as CPI comes in as expected. Okay, that's what's going on there. No, we're not waiting on you, CNBC. We need to keep it pushing. We need to keep it pushing. Okay, let's look at the VIX while we wait for Yahoo Finance. And I might just have to cut both of these because you don't want to do right. You don't want to do right. Maybe somebody. Nope. Okay. Move forward, because we don't have time for you to decide. Look and see who had earnings. I'm trying to add it to the stage. I'm making a move for my computer to make some moves. Hello. Call you like, and we'll just keep it going from here. This is completely stalled. There we go. Now we're moving. Maybe we're spinning at least. Y'all see this happening? Yes. We do. There we go. Whew. Okay, yesterday afternoon, New had earnings. Looks like Surge Pays, Ouster, Gold Royalty, Zevra, Int App, Avino had earnings. All those were yesterday. New actually showed up on the trends list, the alerts list. We'll go there in a minute. This morning, Bringer, Cardinal Health, CAE, Dole is on the earnings list for this morning. PFG, Public Square, MetaWound, UBS, and CloudLink. Those are all. This afternoon, I'm thinking this one's probably anticipated, is Cisco is going to have earnings after the market closes. AST, Space Mobile, D-Local, Arcutis, Stone, not sure, GeoPark, Dragonfly. I forgot what this one is down here. Tomorrow morning, we have Alibaba, Walmart, JD.com, John Deere, Nice, Grab, Applied. So good. Gambling. The gambling people are there tomorrow morning. Okay, that's what we got going for earnings. See if any of y'all trade any of those things I just mentioned? Hey, Margaret Bowden, welcome to the call. Hi, Karen. Good morning. Okay, so you really are tripping up here. They are just tripping. Let's see if we can get the VIX. Oh, la la. Okay, I want to go on. Might as well go on to maybe go on to Adam. All week, my target in SPX was 53.98 to 22, and yesterday we hit it. 54.29, 54.47 were next up, and we hit 54.45 overnight. CPI at 8:30, size down, hold your runner, expect anything, noise, traps the first 30 minutes, right? Plan. Now, he's talking about the ES. So ES, the first 30 minutes takes us up to 9 o'clock for him because he trades the ES. So he's not talking about the first 30 minutes of the market, even though I would suggest that you do give the market up at least 15 good minutes when the market opens, because people who trade ES are, will potentially futures will come on into the U.S. stock market for the other things and start to put their money on stuff that once the futures market, once they leave futures and come into the regular market. So I would still give it 15, 20, 30 minutes to see what's what, right? The plan for today, 53.98, 50, 54.22, 53.94 are stretch supports. Keeps 54.53, 54.75, and 54.90 alive. If 53.90 fails, then we dip to 53.68. If you're trading XSP, you've got 549 on the call credit spread side and 536 on the put credit spread side. Okay, that's what's going on there with the Adams numbers. The difference between the ES and the SPX, the gap is still about 20 points. So keep that in mind if you're following Adam's numbers. And Adam puts out tweets throughout the day, Adam Mancini. I'd like to meet him in person, to be honest. But he puts out numbers through the day on Twitter. So if you follow him on Twitter, just know that there's a 20-point difference between his numbers and SPX. If you're looking at his numbers, so you can trade SPX, just know there's a difference between those two. Okay. Come on. VIX going down, market's going up. That's the way that you going down, market going up. VIX going up, marlation isn't always relation there between those two, between the VIX and market. Especially yesterday, VIX was in the 20s, 2022, I think, when we was definitely going up. Definitely going up. Okay, inflation holds steady. This is Yahoo Finance here. U.S. futures mark time and countdown to key inflation report, which we got that. Wall Street has never been more sure lower rates are coming. With stunning move, Starbucks looks to end its crisis. Yeah, when they got a new CEO, that seems to, it definitely popped yesterday. Despite Home Depot's warning, there is optimism. Right, there is optimism. These same things were here yesterday. I guess they leave them there until everybody read them. Dow Jones futures fall on CPI inflation data. NVIDIA nears a key level. Live coverage, stock futures. I was listening yesterday. It says that maybe this is the ad, NVIDIA's new rival, and a hint it's not Amazon. I was reading an article yesterday about SMCI being the next NVIDIA, especially after it does it split. It's going to split, I think, on September the 30th. SMCI is going to split into 10 or so. And when that happens, you can kind of expect there to be some movement, because it could potentially, if it splits to $50 and has the opportunity to run back up to 400, 500, 600, where it is now, I think it's like $600 right now. It has the opportunity to run back up there, then it may do just that. I don't know why this is not. Janae asked if I think it's going to if I think SPX will move like yesterday. I don't really know. Adam's given a bunch of top side numbers and not very many downside numbers, but I feel like what I've seen in the past is when it runs hard one day, the next day it really rests. But listen, that's not investment advice, because the market does all kinds of stuff, and it could run like it did yesterday. I feel like if it generally you get a big pop into anticipation of a different direction, but yesterday was a big move, and today could be more the same. I mean, he gave us numbers up to 55 or something like that. It went up kind of high, so very well could be. Very well could be. I don't know what is going on with this. I kind of do, but I don't. But okay, my mouse is somewhere. There it is. Let's go and add the charts back to the stage. If you got a stock you want us to look at, then let me know, We can give it a look-see. This is SPX 500, which is the one that you can see throughout the night. It's a daily chart. So this is what's going on now. Let me put us down to maybe a 15-minute time frame and see if we can. Oh la la. Dun, 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 dun. Just give us more, give us more, give us more. Current price on SPX 500 is 54.43, which is up from yesterday because we closed at what, 54.24 or something like that yesterday. So we're up about 20 points this morning in SPX. The 14th is today. This is where we are so far, but all of this was during the night. And then you've got where we're kind of sitting here, 54.40 at this point. And we're up about 16 points from the close of yesterday. This is SPX on the 15-minute chart showing what yesterday looked like. I guess what we'll do is I'll slow down. That way I won't be anticipating that the computer will keep up because it doesn't seem to want to keep up. This was yesterday on SPX. Up, and away. It did take a pause, took a little break. It ran up in the morning, hit this 53.93, which is a little below 5,400, danced around a little bit. And then when it got moving, it kept on moving. It did get around 1 o'clock, kind of settled down, 54.24. It stayed in this zone for the rest of the day. And then, of course, the last 15 minutes, it popped and went all the way up to, I guess the close was 54.34. I said 54.24. So it closed at 54.34 yesterday. And we're currently, according to SPX 500, in the 54.40s. So it's up a little bit this morning, even. Okay. Got that going on. That's SPX. You've got a resistance place at 54.37, which at this point in the pre-market, it is beyond that on SPX 500. But these pivots do help with turnaround. The next one, the next pivot up is the 54.60. Stands to reason what will be, which basically going to see. Janae says we might all need to upgrade our computers. Maybe that's what Dale knows. I actually have a new computer. I turned it on last night and started getting stuff over there. But I need to make sure all of my links into when I go into these places, that all this stuff is there too. So I need to just set it up because I believe it's going to run with a lot more swiftness. I've talked about getting new computers, and I told y'all I have a new computer, and now I just need to use the new computer that I have. Okay, so the big gap that we had that I marked a couple of days ago looks like the price yesterday filled it. Feel me? That was not a different song. That's different feel too, by the way. But almost filled the whole gap. We talked about this. Come on. It filled the majority of the gap, but not all. It's got a little bit left at the top and a little bit left at the bottom. It skipped over some here. So this gap is now the darker part of the gap. Nope. Come on, Cletus. There's a little T90 bit up here at the top. Where's my clone? I need to clone it. There we go. And we got a little T90 bit at the bottom, which that part was filled already from previous price action. So no, we don't need that. But this can now move over to here because the gap's now from yesterday's gap when it gapped up from close to open. Actually, the gap is more of this. Remember, we said we do gaps from close of one day to open the next day. And this one closed at the bottom of this red candle and it opened at the bottom of this green candle. So all of this is still a gap. Okay, this is now a new gap from yesterday. See if I can get it to stop in here properly like it's supposed to. There we go. That's the new gap. And there's a little bit left, which the pre-market from this morning, I believe, is going to, this is SPY, by the way. It's going to fill this little piece up. SPY moved and moved and moved some more yesterday. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. This is going to provide some resistance here. Yesterday, I believe it was triple Q. I want to say it was triple Q. I made a statement about if it got outside of that, the inside zone. No, it wasn't triple Q. It was, I want to say it was SPY, that I said if it went out, that would be the calls entry going up. I think that was the one where I typed it and then it disappeared. But the previous day was an inside day, and I talked about it going, if it got loose, it was going to go on the other way. Janae, that close to open for the gap can be significant to support resistance advantage. Yes. But if it hits and goes across that gap, it'll be a gap and a go. A gap and a go. Let's look at triple Q. Triple Q is at 463.27 in the pre-market. Looks like it closed yesterday at 462. But you remember me talking about how this indecision on triple Q was, I felt like, was manipulation. And then what did it do? It popped off yesterday and ran, taking my triple Q call credit spread right on with it. Part of this gap is filled now, but not all of it, because it got skipped over. Part of this gap is filled, but we can now bring this down to see what is our new gap, because it just skipped over all of that. Well, part of this, it only really has this little bit left, to be honest. This little bitty here is all that's left of the gap. Just a little bit in the middle, because the price action from Monday went up to this part, and then Tuesday's skip basically created a new gap. And this gap is between 454.32 and 455.82. So like $1.50 is there. Did I put these on? I think I did. Feel like I did. Yep. Those look like my things. Okay. There's some resistance in here, support and resistance in here. Let's change this. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the candles. Put this in here. See right in here, anytime I can't really tell real good where is support and resistance, you could definitely put turn it to a line chart, and then you can see it'll be much easier to see where there are turnaround points. It'll be much easier to see that when you put it on the line chart. Turnaround points, boom, boom. So now it's currently at 463.25, but we have resistance at 463.87. I'm gonna turn it back to candles. Yep, turn it back to candles, and we'll see right here, which is a weird place for, I guess this is a stop resistance. This would be a weird place for it, but that's where it is for. It's a lot of muckety muck happening in here, though. Seems like it's just what happened in there. What's going on in there? Good morning, Drew. How you doing? Okay. What trades are we in for the week? What trades are we in? What trades are we in? I actually spent some time in my sim yesterday. You all would be proud of me. You all would be proud. My Oracle trade, which was in sim from the weekend that I set to open on Monday, it closed yesterday in the sim. So I set Oracle during our call. I think it was Sunday when we were on the call. I was using the sim and I put that trade. I left it to open when the market opened, and it did on Monday, and then it was able to be closed yesterday. I think that's one of the things that we have to be mindful of, that when we enter our trades at support or resistance, if you're entering, your put credit spread at support and your call credit spread at resistance, then if the price is going the way it needs to go, it won't take as long for it to close. You may not have to wait the week, right? I got TQQQ is my trade that was put on by Peakbot, and because Triple Q has been running up like it has, it's not been ready to close. It's just dancing around. My trade is not breached, or at least it wasn't when I went to bed last night. But it still is in need of. It still can't be closed yet because of the price. Because price action is moving in the direction of trade. Okay, there's a little gap here. This is NVIDIA we're looking at. NVIDIA had a good day. I told you, we talked yesterday about NVIDIA going to 120. It's currently at 118 in the pre-market, heading back up to that 118.06 was resistance, and the 121.05. I want to change this to the line and see we've got right here one that was 118.06. And then we've got 121.05 as resistance as well. Pivot point at 118. This pivot point here, 118.52. And that's right around where it is in the pre-market. It's right around where it is right now in pre-market. Okay, that's what's going on with NVIDIA. Anybody trade NVIDIA yesterday? Jamie says, waiting for side 2 of a RUT PDF hack to fill at open. Well, PDT hack happens each day. We've had this discussion before. I'm gonna leave that. Okay, so morning, Lisa. Hey, how we doing? Lisa? Yep, we've had that talk before. Peakbot alerts. Let's go look here. This was the end of the day yesterday on the alerts. This watch list populated at 3:55 yesterday as market was closing. These are the top 10 suggestions for the credit spreads. Let me make it bigger so y'all can see what's happening. Oh, not that big. New is top of the list, and it was going into earnings yesterday evening, so that wouldn't have been the best trade to do at 3:55, I don't think. But we do have 816. Now today is Wednesday. It will still show Friday's expirations on our alert for the week. We've got HD is up there, which also Home Depot had earnings yesterday as well. Tesla's on the list from yesterday. Roblox, Citigroup, which is on our list too. It's showing up here as C was on our list as an iron condor. Panduo. Did you all see the article about the Panduo guy and how much he's now worth? Uber is on the list. Microsoft, Exxon, put credit spread on Exxon, which Exxon is doing its thing. And then SE was also earnings. So I'm surprised that AMD is not on this list. AMD was definitely set to make its pop. And then we have Iron Condor entries was yesterday, and that also was populated at 3:55. You can look at these Iron Condors. Again, these alerts are any time of the day. Any time of the day, you can see these alerts. This list populates every 5 minutes. Janae said, I looked at NVIDIA, but I do that every day. Yeah. I think SMCI maybe at this point SMCI is like $600. So I mean, if you're going to trade it, you need to be prepared to do to trade at least a 2.5 spread. So, but that is something that can be done. Looking at what is coming up for the E2T crew next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Options 411. I don't think I put the dates on here, but it's running along the bottom of the ticker stream, so you can actually still see it. But what's in options 411? We're doing a 3-day challenge. Options 411, 3-day challenge. It basically includes the basics, options lingo, basic options lingo. What broker is best for trading? What broker should you use for trading, right? Or which ones have the pros and cons? There's so many out there to choose from. What are the good ones? And, what kind of account do you need when you want to trade? What kind of account do you need? And what kind of money do you need in that account? People always ask me that. How much money do I need to get started, right? How do you make money trading? What are the things that you're going to actually do to make money? How can the charts help me to make more money? Because we need charting. How does charting help me make more money? And how do we get started? Like, how do you start? Well, it's my first, so it's like a quick start guide I have that'll give you what are your steps to get started. You can sign up and register for the Options 411 3-day challenge. It's $97 at educator2trader.com. Again, if you're not one who needs this information, if you're not one, pass it on to somebody else who does, who's interested in options, really wants to learn. Maybe they've started and they're not really doing all that well at it. Maybe go and pass the word off to somebody else, right? Options 411, 3-day challenge. Boop. $97 at educator2trader.com. Make sure the link is accurate. Okay. That's what's in Options 411. 3-day challenge. You sign up and hang out with us for 3 evenings and get yourself started, or get whoever is started on options, right? Get us started on options. It's not where I want to go next. So, did everybody see anybody watching how Starbucks was moving yesterday? Nvidia had its move, which Janae says she watches it every day. We can go look at Starbucks. This is how Starbucks managed yesterday. Went up, closed at what, 95.90. Now it's currently in the pre-market at 95.50 or around 95.50, but it's got a monster gap that it's going to want to fill. Hopefully it won't fill it too soon. People who are jumping on the wagon want to make sure that the wagon keeps floating, keeps going in the upwards direction. Having a new CEO does, lend some credibility to the company. And I guess the Chipotle CEO has been one that folks have a lot of faith in, that he's done well with Chipotle, and now he comes over to help Starbucks get on track. I mean, Starbucks, you see the model is there. They've got the product, they've got brand recognition, and it's literally all over the world. I was in China for 3 years, and Starbucks was literally everywhere. We went up to the Great Wall of China, and when we got up there to start walking on the wall, guess what there was up there? A Starbucks. Okay, the Great Wall of China, like ancient architecture, has a Starbucks. So listen, this is where old meets new. So they're everywhere, right? Everywhere. So that can be a good thing, I guess. It could also be maybe a drawback, and perhaps the management of it all got out of whack for the previous CEO, and now a new CEO was going to help them get back on track. Jamie says, Janae, since you're in a long-term relationship with NVIDIA, you have to give it a nickname. Got to give it a nickname. I can go with that. Okay, so that's the Starbucks and what it's doing this morning. Was there anything else I wanted to look at here? Okay, while I'm here, then let me go ahead and hit the freebies page. E2T-freebies is where you can find all the free resources that have been created. A charting cheat sheet, right? You can grab your charting cheat sheet. You can do a short charting webinar, get a good introduction to charting. 7 mistakes traders make that keep them from making 7 figures. 0 DTE. For those of you who are the 0 DTE folks, here's a cheat code for that. How do you make at least 10% profits every day using selling strategies, right? The best trading strategy for your personality, a quick start guide for options, 5 hacks for trading SPX, E2T membership, Educated Trader website, all here. The Facebook page, you can come here and join our Facebook page, get access there. If you want to be a part of our Telegram group, you can also add your information down here and join our Telegram group. Okay. Yeah, it was at the top of the Great. What was at the entrance? Like, well, the Great Wall has several different entrances, but where we were going to enter, get on the wall, the part we were entering had a Starbucks. Had a Starbucks. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And not only did they have people in there, people was in there buying, because one of the things that also was a thing that we did while we were in China is we would go to the different Starbucks, and each of the Starbucks had a cup from the different parts of China. So we lived in Ningbo, so we had a cup that was Ningbo, and when we went to different parts of China, we would get a cup for those areas too. So of course, if you go up to the Great Wall, you got to go into Starbucks and buy a Great Wall cup. Yeah. Got to buy a Beijing and a Great Wall cup. Jamie says, Janae, I am a level-headed trader. I do not trade with my emotions. Yes. Let's try that. Y'all are probably better at that than me. I'm not as great at it as I should be. I want to be better, and I'm getting better, at making sure I'm not trading with my emotions, for sure. Okay. We didn't have any stocks that showed up in the list. That means nobody wants to look at anything. Okay, cool. It's about 9:15 anyway, so we can actually start to land the plane. I didn't see any like the biggest movers this morning. Home Depot is probably going to be on that biggest mover list for the morning. CPI data is what's going to be the thing of the day, topic du jour. If you want to look at your learning list, what are the steps in learning? We've got options 411 for newbies. That's going to be the challenge next week, August 20 to 22nd. Start with thechart.com, the free webinar. He will help you with charting. And trading strategy for you is the free quiz. Specific strategy trainings. Then once you determine what strategy works for you, you got credit spreads, cash secure puts, covered calls, and debit spreads. I'm getting ready to introduce a program that is going to be, let me put myself back on the screen and take this off the screen. The shade yesterday was that people don't want a berry protein drink from Starbucks. But they go in there and buy them. They might not want that from there, but everybody doesn't want Starbucks coffee either, because I don't necessarily think Starbucks coffee is all that great. But I'll go into some of their other drinks, their mixed drinks and stuff. Either way, I'm getting ready to introduce a program that's going to help us, that's going to take us through the fourth quarter. And it's going to include the time where we're going to do the intro. We're going to do the basics of charting. We're going to spend a couple weeks doing charting. We're going to do all the seller strategies, basically options 411 from the seller perspective, or the seller's masterclass is actually what I'm probably going to call it, the seller's masterclass. And it's going to take us through several weeks of learning a good masterclass. And really, by the time that you finish this, it's either like 12 to 14 weeks. When you finish this 12 to 14 weeks program, you're going to have everything you need to be a seller, to be a comfortable, profitable, or at least knowledgeable, definitely knowledgeable. Sometimes the profitable comes with time, but we will work with the profits too. If we got some nice tools in place and we manage and we do our risk management, we should be able to be profitable in short order. I'm going to bring that program out very shortly, and I want you to start thinking about that. It is coming soon. Coming soon, okay? Coming soon. All righty. Let me get to the next screen. There we go. Go. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Like, hit the notification bell, do the up thumb and all those good things, and make sure that you don't miss anything when we're here. The time for our call next week is going to shift. I'll let you all know what's going on. I'm still thinking about what I want that to look like. So, but for next week, our time is going to have to shift, because at 8:30, I am actually going to be in the midst of teaching. I've got two thoughts. I have to determine which one of them I want to go with, but just know that next week, we're going to have a little bit of a difference as it pertains to our morning calls. We'll still have them. Just got to figure out what's the time that we will do them. Okay, E2T Trader's Declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account's growing more and more each week. I am a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. All right, that's what Janae was saying. She doesn't trade her emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war and our fingers to fight. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen. I was reading the previous version, but I've updated it. I was still reading it by repetition. All righty. So we've got about 15 minutes before the market opens. Swing us back to SPX 500 and see what we're looking at over there. See how that's looking. Potentially, I can swing us back to that. Yes, I did. Yes, I can. We're still hovering around the 54.40. Come on, add it to the stage. I've already picked it. Just go ahead and put it up there. 54.41, which is where we bumped into at about 8:30 when I mentioned it when we came on. We're still in the zone. We're still hanging around this same zone, right? Yesterday we closed at what, 54.34. Looks like now we're around 54.40. There is some resistance in here, which could be holding us steady. Steadier she blows, right? 54, that's 54.60 though. That's 20 points away. That's not what's holding us. That's not what's holding us. And this is below that. That's not what's holding us. So it's just being held. Waiting for the market to open, I guess. For all the people to rush in with their money. It's waiting for everybody to rush in with their money, because they're going to do just that. They're going to rush in with their money. All righty. This is one of those places where capital flow comes in handy, because when the market opens, you can see at 9:30 when orders start coming in and capital flow, you can see how big these orders are. You can have it set to a dollar figure. Maybe you say, I only want to see the orders that are over 100K. I only want to see the orders that are over 1 million. And when those orders pop in right at 9:30, that lets you know that whoever sent that order at 9:30 was not trying to wait for the first candle. They weren't waiting for anything. They knew something, or they want to make it shake, and they putting in their money. Capital flow right at the open. You can see exactly what's to happen, where the money is going immediately, and that can help you to set your move for what's next, right? So capitalflow.app. I need to I really have an affiliate link for that, but I keep forgetting to put it in here. But I do have one. So capitalflow.app. If you want to be able to see all day, every day in real time, where are the orders? Where's the big money going? Capitalflow.app. And Capital Flow is not the only flow app. There's other flow apps that are out there, but I think Capital Flow is very useful, and it's one of the cheapest. It's like $35 a month you pay for Capital Flow. Okay. All righty, everybody. We're going to do two things today. It never hurts to find out where big money is putting their money. If that's going to help us keep our little money getting bigger, then it's worth the use. It's worth the $35. All right. Either way, we're going to do two things today. We're going to stay green, and we're going to get this money. All right. I want you all to have a great green day. I'll see you in the market. Goodbye, everyone. Maybe. I'm trying to hit end stream.